Yeah. One up and up is One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. When up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Buddy up! Watch 49! You got nothing with it. Slam!
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up second down.
49.
Again on second and 10, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander. Wreaking havoc with a sack.
Leighton Vander Esch. A loss of 8 yards on the sack. And it's third down.
Now after that sack, it's third and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on third and long. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. They'll try the left side. Caldwell looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
At the 35-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Dancing to his left. Give him 23 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, 0.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. On 3rd down, it's Carson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it.
Tight dog. Check 3.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Hey, watch the slant.
On 1st down, Carson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield? to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Green 80. Bang out, bam, bam. You ain't going nowhere. Wide, get wide. Let's go.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Green 80. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Wilson now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Throwing again on second down. Wilson steps away to his left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Check 55, Mike. Here we go. Hey, easy. Check.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Big stop, let's go.
Second down and goal. Wilson. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? From the shotgun, Wilson. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on third down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They go play action now. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And he's going to go down again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Watch the slap.
Play action. Now Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
A line of scrimmage once again, the 5, as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Check your hot read. 12. Mark 55. Okay. Yeah. Here we go again.
Now it's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, Charles, after that interception in the Super Bowl from the 1-yard line, I thought Pete Carroll would run it inside the 5 every time.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe Pete did want to run it inside the 5. But Russell Wilson, you know he's such a competitor. He doesn't want that interception to stand. That maybe he would.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. I think you have to say this crowd here in Seattle, this 12th man had something to do with that.
As well as the architect of this stadium, combined with this crowd noise, makes it very difficult to run offense. And here, 2 points result for the defense.
It is deafening in here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The Ravens on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the Seahawks 34-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check back, check back.
Now Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
There. I got one.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll run it. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so second and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and 2 at the 21-yard line.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. They'll keep it on the ground again here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 6. And the Raven first down.
Let's go. 15 on it. 15 on it. Go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
55. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Out.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And this one complete to Smith. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's Carson. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's Wilson. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll try to run with Carson. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will bump the lead up to 26. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Jackson. Buying time to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Complete. Richardson has it. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one goes for 24 yards. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
Check 9, check 9.
Throwing again. Jackson. Being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Check.
On third down, Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the run.
They run the counter. It's Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the screen. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Mike 5-5. Mike, good job right there. 5-5. Oh, you got deep? Check the backer.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Wilson's pass incomplete on the throwaway. Results in a 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards.
50-yard attempt.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
I know he ain't got it.
To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
It's completed to Caldwell. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now on 2nd and 13, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And the Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wilson, operating from the gun. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll be stopped short of the first down, right around the 18-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Kill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 2.
49's the mic. Watch 49.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Jackson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Ravens' 30-yard line.
Mike. Flying, 90. Hey. He runs.
This is Carson. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On third down, Wilson. Forced out to his left. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. They'll run on first down. Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
On second and 11 now. Wilson. Throwing right, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go, D. You guys, listen. It's going to be a long way.
To throw on third down. Wilson looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Come on, man, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first and 10, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Work to be done here on second and 16 after the sack.
61, match box.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And
all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And oh my, mistake there. Backs up, takes a fair catch at the 3-yard line.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's downed inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
I'm coming after you.
So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Seahawks, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash.